learn the words next time, please. First verse is the same as... No, what?
On gambling houses and shanties, Chinese ownership. This proves that the miners only wish to be rid of a nuisance to us all. If any breach of the peace should occur at our meeting, I shall be the first man to assist the Commissioner in...
Gentlemen, ladies, and fellow miners, if it had not been for treachery on the part of a person unbeknownst to me,
Yeah, what's that?
who pulled down our notices,
It was.
we would have 6 times the number we have here today. Commissioner or no commissioner, it was an unconstitutional act, but it matters little now, since we are sufficient in numbers to do what we want to do. Proud I am to see you have so nobly responded to our roll-up. We have assembled to discuss a very important and serious question. Shall the Burrangong goldfields become a Chinese territory or remain a European dig-in?
Everybody, European! Down with the Chinese!
There are not less than 15 or 1,600 Chinese at present on this very field. But there are thousands more on their way. Now we as British subjects stand tamely by and allow the bread to be plucked from the mouths of ourselves, our wives, our children, by these heathen barbarians? Drive them out. We are now, may I say, safely on a goldfield which has every appearance of being a permanent one. The only goldfield in the colony on which the hard-working miner, such as yourselves, the mainstay of our country, our fledgling country, can eke out more than a bare subsistence. Now our livelihood is about to be torn from our grasp.
No, never.
How and by whom, I hear you ask? By, of course, the curse, the plague of the country, namely the Chinaman. How long will the Burrangong diggings continue to be the support upon thousands upon thousands of men like yourselves making an honest living? If the Chinese are allowed to pour in ever-increasing numbers, as we speak, another boat is on its way. Why, 6 months from now, we'll see this field worked out. God help the poor men who have wives and families depending on them. They will starve. Perhaps you would like to work for the squatters at 7 shillings and ratchets a week. Well, this is what will happen if we don't stop this curse. Then, men and fellow miners, let us assert our rights before God and man and everyone here. In the clear face of day, like freeborn Britons, and prevent ourselves from being trampled in the dust like dogs. I now have the pleasure in moving the following resolution. Since our government of New South Wales will not protect us, our wives, our children from this Chinese scourge, we bind ourselves to a man to give all Chinese 2 days' notice to quit the Burrangong goldfield. And in the event of them not complying with our request, we must bind ourselves to take measures as required to rid ourselves of such pests and nuisances.
No notices. Let's get rid of them now. Come on, man. Let's sing again. Where's our band? Everybody sing. Thank you. Stuart. On this day, on the 30th of June 1861, about 3,000 miners attacked 900 Chinese in several camps around Lambing Flat. Reports came of scalpings, ear croppings and assaults, along with burning and looting of possessions. powerless to protect the Chinese as they were hopelessly outnumbered. Sub-Gold Commissioner George O'Malley Clark rode his horse to James Robertson's Currowang station to ask if he would give sanctuary to the Chinese. And this request was immediately granted, and by the next evening, 1,276 cold, frightened and injured Chinese were on Currowang station. Unfortunately, it rained incessantly for 5 days, and as their belongings had either been stolen or burned, it must have been quite harrowing. Commissioner Griffin and Captain Zouch, along with Sub-Inspector McCleary, Sergeant Brennan and Sergeant Sanderson, had instructed their troops to keep a record of the ringleaders of this riot. And on the 14th of July, when another roll-up was called, the authorities were ready. The crowd was estimated at between 4,000 and 6,000. Now this is the biggest antisocial gathering by any group in Australia's history. It happened here in Young. Quite amazing. And the riot was at this spot here, and that is Lumpton's lookout there. So you can imagine trying to scale that to get to the superintendent's camp and the police camp. It would have been quite harrowing. Can we have some more music? Sing up, everybody. Make way! Hesitate! Stand back! I'm here in order, and by God, I will!
Hear ye, hear ye. Our sovereign Lady Queen Victoria charges all persons being assembled to disperse themselves and peacefully depart to their habitations or to their lawful business upon the pains contained in the Act made in the first year of King George for preventing tumultuous and riotous assemblies. God save the Queen. God save the King.
We don't know this one.
Stand back! Stand back! Stand back!
Let's go, you dirty mug! Let's go! Come on, let's go!
I'll shoot the first man that moves.
He won't shoot anyone. He's too gutless. He's got no kick. He's gutless. Let us go, you dirty buggers.
I wanted 6 of those, but we're a bit short. At the word of command from troopers led by Sergeant Brennan, troopers drew their sabres, a bit short on those, and a bit short on troopers on horseback too. That's actually what happened. They spurred their horses and they charged the infuriated leaderless mob. 2 men to the outskirts of the crowd fell to the ground, hit by bullets. One was a digger named Lumpton. Down there somewhere. There he is, he's back. Glad about that. The troopers wielded their weapons with savage skill, and many a digger staggered before the charge. It was now late afternoon, and dusk fell like a curtain on the climax of the drama. Organised force won the victory as the crowd stampeded in panic, spilling and tumbling, rolling down the steep bank of Burrangong Creek. Soon a thick pile of smoke covered the starry sky as fires from hundreds of Chinese huts set ablaze at dawn, and not one Chinaman could be found on the digging. During the night, angry miners roamed the streets vowing revenge and retribution. The police dared not leave their camp, where they remained in a state of siege. A crowd of 8,000 had attended the funeral of William Lumpton. No, you were popular, William. And a sign of respect, William Street in Young, named after William Lumpton in his honour. Several impassioned speeches were made at his funeral. Said an elderly miner, he died as the men of Eureka died, a martyr in the miners' cause. By their death we've won our miners' rights, and now our mate Lumpton was dead and died for a great cause. White Australia.
Where are you going?
Reports
Come
reached
here,
the
Baba.
camp that the miners were mustering for an armed assault.
Come sit on my lap.
All available firearms, gunpowder, caps and bullets had been bought from the stores. That men were busy casting lead slugs and that the diggers were being drilled by ex-soldiers and ex-policemen for an organised attack. Captain Zouch realised that he was outnumbered and that in an organised attack he would be outgunned. A frightful carnage, the worst in Australia's history, loomed imminent. Captain Zouch realised that his small body of men would fight bravely, but he knew that they would be annihilated. After consultation with the commissioners and his brother officers, Captain Zouch had reached his decision. The officials from the various banks on the field had brought their currency in for protection. This added to the gold awaiting escort amounted to a treasure of £100,000, which in those days was quite a booty. During the dead of night, Captain Zouch opened the lockup and released his prisoners. They were all free. Then the entire police force withdrew to Yass, some 60 miles away. On the morning of the 16th of July 1861, there was not one policeman or Chinaman left on the Burrangong gold fields. One of the three prisoners, a lunatic, set fire to the abandoned police station and the courthouse after the police departed. Reinforcements were sent immediately from Sydney, but the march southwards was very slow. The second emergency measure taken by the government as a reprisal against the rioters was to wipe from the map of New South Wales the name Lambing Flat. Young was going to be this town's new name, which was named after the governor, John Young. Pretty amazing what's happened in this district, and we should keep trying to remember it wasn't a great thing that happened here. What happened here came the White Australia policy. A couple of weeks ago, ex-mayor of Young, Tony Hewson, put in the paper that what we should do now is, move on and don't try to say celebrate what we're doing here, but remember that it is part of our history. Let's not try to hide it under a mattress or whatever. We have to bring it out in the open. It did happen, but now let's try and do something good from it. His suggestion was to put up some kind of a mark with respect to Chinese, what they bring to our community. I would like to see that. How appropriate that the White Australia policy started here. Wouldn't it be great to know that it's been thanks. Now that's our reenactment for the afternoon. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't know the words, ask somebody beside you. Okay, drummer, down to me.
I did it again, baby. Yeah!
What led you through the hopelessly tangled underbrush of private security organizations to our door, Stellar word of mouth? Our fine client roster? Those flyers we put up in that public urinal?